afternoon. Here is the word at noon. Nigerian First Lady to testify as police reveal offense committed by remanded student. Zimbabwe seeks readmission into Commonwealth. China signals ease in COVID policy after mass protests. The First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Buhari, is set to testify against a student of the Federal University Dutse, Jigawa State, Aminu Adamu, for allegedly defaming her. Aminu, in a post on his Twitter account, had accused the wife of the president. The 24-year-old was trailed to his school and was arrested by security operatives, and ever since his arrest, Aminu has been in detention for nearly 2 weeks. Aminu on Tuesday was arraigned before a judge, Yusuf Alilu of the Federal Capital Territory High Court at Maitama, Abuja. The student during trial pleaded not guilty and was remanded at Suleja prison in Niger State. The police said the alleged offense bordering on defamation and cyber stalking contravened Section 391 of the Penal Code. Lawmakers of the Economic Community of West Africa States, ECOWAS, Parliament have faulted the process for the adoption of the 2023 Commonwealth Community Budgets. They said the budget showed less focus on community citizens. The lawmakers expressed their reactions in separate interviews with newsmen following the adoption of the 2023 community budget of 418,072,408 units of the account by the Parliament in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, while the budgetary allocation for peace and security, a critical challenge of the sub-region, was pegged at 21,839,788. ECOWAS institutions were allocated 366,254,680 for administration and salaries. Nigerian lawmaker Awaji Inumbek Abiante said that the parliament should have been given more time to understand the budget and do its due diligence as advised by President Muhammadu Buhari during the opening of the session before adopting it. Mr. Abiante said the ECOWAS Parliament must act beyond just an advisory role and the right things must be done so that community citizens can feel the impacts. After being suspended for more than 3 decades from the Commonwealth Group of Nations, Zimbabwe is angling for readmission despite a checkered human rights record. The country was suspended from the Commonwealth in March 2022 at the height of its controversial land reform program under the leadership of the late former President Robert Mugabe. It was later removed in 2004 following violent land seizures in 2000, where white commercial farmers were removed to make way for black indigenous farmers. The culmination of the violent elections, human rights abuses, and lack of rule of law were all seen as against Commonwealth principles, hence Zimbabwe's suspension. The M23 rebels, who are not represented at the ongoing inter-Congolese dialogue in Nairobi and are currently under sanctions by DRC, have been asked to hand themselves over to the government failure, to which military action will be taken against them. The Democratic Republic of Congo government has reiterated that it will not offer amnesty to the group which continues to defy calls for cessation of hostilities and exit from the areas of Bunagana, Botshuru, and Kiwanja, where they were last week asked to leave after the last meeting of the Luanda process in Angola. He reiterated that Kinshasa will not engage the foreign armed groups fighting in eastern Congo and that they must leave the country forthwith. The EAC facilitator for the process, former Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta, said the Nairobi meeting only involves armed groups that have agreed to silence their guns. This is the word at noon, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Voice of the West, Nigeria. Now amid news message. Peace is an essential ingredient of democracy. Wherever you are, give peace a chance. In Kenya, a man who threw his girlfriend from the 12th floor to the 9th floor after meeting on Facebook has been sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. Milimani Principal Magistrate Esther Kemilu convicted Moses Njoroge after the court found him guilty of causing grievous bodily harm to the woman. The court did not give an option of a fine. The magistrate said that the victim is still undergoing treatment 2 years since the incident occurred. According to reports, she had considered the accused person was committed to rehabilitation due to alcoholism and anger issues. The European Commission has proposed a plan to compensate Ukraine for its damages caused by the conflict with proceeds from investing Russian bonds frozen under sanctions. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said in a statement that the frozen funds would go to Ukraine to compensate for the damages caused to the country, already estimated at around 600 billion euros. Moscow says seizing its fund or those of its citizens amounts to theft. European Commission officials said that one short-term option for Western nations would be to create a fund to manage and invest liquid assets, mainly cash, of the central bank and use the proceeds to support Ukraine. The assets would be returned to their owners when sanctions were lifted, which could be part of a peace agreement that ensued. Ukraine received compensation for damages. China has signaled a shift in its COVID stance as it moves to ease some virus restrictions despite highly daily case numbers. Dozens of districts in Shanghai and Guangzhou cities that have seen rising cases were released from lockdown measures today. The vice premier also announced that the country was facing a new situation. It comes as China is seeing mass protests against its zero-COVID policy. The unrest was triggered by a fire in a high-rise block in the western Xinjiang region that killed 10 people last week. Many Chinese believe long-running COVID restrictions in the city contributed to the deaths, although the authorities denied this. And here again are the highlights of the World at noon. Following his arraignment, 5 witnesses are reportedly billed to testify against Aminu Adamu, the student arrested over an alleged defamatory tweet against Nigerian First Lady Aisha Buhari. After being suspended for more than 3 decades from the Commonwealth Group of Nations, Zimbabwe is angling for readmission despite a checkered human rights record. China has signaled a shift in its COVID stance as it moves to ease some virus restrictions despite high daily case numbers. That was the Word at Noon, edited by Temitope Olayiwola. In today's news talk, the main events which make December a unique month of the year and the human errors that tarnish the month as evil forces predatory period are the focus. The piece is written by Adeboye Bubola.
December terminates the counting of months in every year. It is a month the apocalyptic birth, which remains historical mystery in human science, was fulfilled. The virgin birth by Mary in December in more than 2,000 years ago is a testimony of all the holy treatises the world over. This unique history makes the month of December an epic display of aesthetic of all cultures and work of arts. For instance, December is a month the air is rented by sonorous songs of Christ's birth known as carol. It is also a season of showing of love in exchange of gifts, a period notable for souvenirs in different synthetics and attractions in stage shows. The center of events in the month of December is Christmas and New Year celebrations. While the Christmas commemorates the birth of Christ, the New Year celebration marks the dawn of an era. All these euphoric activities make December a boisterous, bubbling and ecstatic. The month of December is equally aglow in dirt and dusty dry wind blows from the Sahara over Atlantic coast of West Africa. The dry weather, which the month symbolizes, is eventful to social engagements like marriage, burial programs, corporate and private anniversaries, church activities such as harvest and annual song service. The social events increase the risk of traveling on roads or by air. The air and land transportation could be disrupted by hazy weather, which shortens the visibility ranges and at times results in auto or air crashes. There could also be heavy traffic on roads due to large volumes of commuters traveling for seasonal programs. The frequent mishaps that characterize the month of December are the consequences of laxity or recklessness of road users, particularly drivers of private and commercial vehicles who drive under the influence of alcohol. It can also be traced to movement in the odd hours of the day where security of lives is tainted by possible violence and inherent dangers. The life could also be excessively stretched in ecstasy of the euphoria of the season, causing untimely death. All these horrors of excessive life game are responsible for the human conjecture that December is month of evil forces' predatory incursion into social activities. But contrary to this mythical assumption, the month of December is the most blessed of all months of the year, being the month that Jesus Christ was born to fulfill the God's work of creation. News Talk therefore calls on all and sundry to emulate God's charitable passion and make this month a season of love and exchange of gifts, which make December a unique of all months of the year.
That News Talk by Adeboye Popola called for emulation of God's charitable passion in love and exchange of gifts, which make the month of December a unique of all the months in the year. For more about us, visit www.osbcng.org. The piece was read by Titi Lokwe Ajiboye. Thanks for listening. Good afternoon.
Welcome, sir. Adia Governor, Senator Ademola Adele